Hello again everyone, it's Andy from Skirmish Hobby Projects coming to you with the continuation of the Victrix Wargame Saxon Warband for the game Pillage. As you can see, I've got Thane Edrit and the command team, as well as the Feardmen I've done in parts 1 and 2, sort of stood there watching as I look to finish off my infantry line by building up the armoured main line. So, as I said in the last video, brief history of the Saxons, where they did war. Obviously, the majority of the forces that would take to the field on any given day would be your rank and file, your average farmer, Dave and Fred, and the mad lads from the farms, just grabbing a spear, a shield, a helmet if they were lucky to have one, and then just going and doing a bit, almost as a bit of a getaway from the mundanity of just farming, really, because life was a bit hard back in the, well, about 1,000 or so years ago. This time, though, I'm going to be focusing on the armoured guys. These were much more like your household professional troops that the Thane would actually employ as his bodyguards, and, you know, just a small retinue to make sure things were, that he had actual qualified fighters so that he could train up the Feardmen when they came to fight. I've taken the luxury of cutting out the first 4 bodies from the main sprue again. I said before, they come on the same sprue as the light infantry bodies, so I've got the spare one here. As you can see, those first 4 and the gap from the other 4 that are now in with these guys. And I'll be cutting them out separately in a second to continue the build process. My plan for these, I can't decide what the split I want to do, but there's going to be a mix of spears and swords. Basically, the Feardmen obviously all spears because it's cheap, and these guys weren't professional soldiers. But whereas these guys are professionals, I can't decide whether I want them to be sworded or speared. It might be a 50-50 split. I might go slightly in favour of swords, but I'll see how I go in the build process, and you'll see the pictures on what my final decision will be. Once again, though, there is a spare body just lurking off onto the left here. And so as you can see, I've got one additional body, and this is the very last model from the command sprue that I did from the very first episode. So this guy here, as you can see from his really long spear next to him, is the banner waver. I need to look into how to actually get the banner sorted, because it doesn't look like it comes with one in the box, which is a good and a bad thing in a way. Good in that it means you can make your own banner, but bad in terms you have to go and figure one out. So that might just be as simple as cutting some paper out and sticking it to itself, but we'll see in due course. But that's everything so far. So I'm just going to get into the build process. You'll see the pictures, and like I said, where they're doubling up on the bodies, poses and that, I might just do them like doubles at a time with the pictures, so you can see the end result. But yeah, right, I'll see you on the other side. Okay, everyone, so that's that build process done, and as you can see, I've sort of put all the models together in one big display. As you can see, I've got quite a decent sized little warband going on here. So obviously these are the guys we've just been working through and building. I'm not going to lie, I think these are the best models in the kit so far by a mile. The whole kit, all through build stage, have been incredibly easy to do. But these guys, I just love the poses. They're so much more dynamic, and they were just really easy to put together. So the final split in the end, I've gone with 5 swords and 3 spears. So 3 spearmen at the front here, as you can see. This guy is an absolute badass from this pose. But again, him tucking himself behind the shield, that guy as well, looking like he's running to go and skewer some heathens, is great. And then all the swordsmen at the back, which can form up as a bit of a protection around Edric and the command team there, with the 2 Danax guys as well. But the spearmen guys, my thinking is, as I want to get in the game, it's good to have a couple of armoured options, but it means then with my actual Feardman line here, I could potentially bolster some of them with some guys that are just a little bit harder to kill. by all means, have a look online at some of the skirmish games that sort of show people playing them. I think Barefoot Miniatures, someone based significantly further north than I am, have done a few Let's Plays, which are really good. And there's a guy over in East Anglia, I think Seventh Son, I think is his. They're not sponsored the channel. I've watched a few of their videos, the Let's Plays, and that's what sort of convinced me to get into the game. So shout out to people doing the good work where you can. But yeah, it's basically the more armor you have, the higher number you need to roll in order to be hit. So I think everything is base of a 4. If you've got a bit of armor, then it's a 5, that kind of thing, which is useful. But yeah, so that's that build. That's now enough for me to go and start playing a little bit. 2 more options in terms of easy breaks to build from this warband to bring me up to that magic 32 figure number. One will be archers and missile units and other sort of peasant guys. And the other one, which would be a little bit controversial, is Anglo-Saxon cavalry. Not something you really see in Anglo-Saxon history, but it is something that they did do like a little bit of a light support role, and there's a function for it in the game. Anyways, that's enough of me rambling on. Thanks very much for watching, everyone, and thank you for the continued support. Hopefully I won't leave it as long before the next one comes up, but I'm sort of just filming these as and when I get a chance to do some hobbying. Not long now, and I'll start putting some paint on, and who knows, I might even be able to start filming a game or two. Anyways, until the next time, have a good one, guys, and happy hobbying.